Hello everybody and welcome to my first impressions and a short-term review of the Samsung SSD that I've just fitted to my laptop. You may have seen it last week. I did an unboxing video of this and I said I was going to install it, and now next week, this week, I'm going to be doing like a short-term review of it, all the pros and cons of the installation and how it's changed my laptop. So I'm first going to talk about the old drive that's in this box here, which is now considerably heavier. Now, if anyone owns a HP laptop, then don't be worried, the drive is actually quite good. It is a Western Digital hard drive, so that's not so bad, as Western Digital is usually quite reliable, but the first thing you notice is that it is a lot heavier than the SSD. So I'm just keeping it in that box now. You can see that it's the same size as the SSD and fits in the box nicely. I didn't use the spacer in the installation, seeing as it was the same size, but all of the laptops I think have a different size drive, slightly thicker drive. So yes, the installation, it was quite easy for me because I looked at like loads of videos online on how to do it. However, the installation guide that they give you has got to be one of the cons for the hard drive, like the laptop conversion kit, because it's just awful. I mean, this is the installation guide. It just has pictures in it telling you briefly how to do it. That's the guide for the desktop version. I'll just bring the camera down here and tell you how like inaccurate it is. So the first step, it says get a laptop and the hard drive. Then it just says put a disk into the laptop. Step 3, plug in the SSD. Step 4, migrate the data with a program, which you would assume comes on the disk, but it's an old version because it's the original version of the program, so it probably isn't as good. And then step 5 is just open the laptop up. And it doesn't say that you need to turn the laptop off or take the battery out to stop you from shorting out the motherboard and causing hundreds of pounds worth of damage. And to be honest, that's quite a crucial thing when you're taking apart a laptop, to know that you need to take the battery out. It doesn't say anything like that. It just says unscrew the drive port and put the new hard drive in. And it just says switch it on and then Samsung Magician will happen. So to be honest, you may as well just have something in Chinese. It's so awful. And you just got caution, blah blah blah. Do not drop, do not screw drive, do not put electrical current through it. And there's the desktop version, it's just basically the same thing. But it's just rubbish, to be honest. That's why I'm glad I looked at loads of YouTube videos on how to install the SSD. I would recommend that you do that as well. If you are going to buy an SSD, look online. YouTube is the best place, really, place of wisdom to know all you need to know about how to install the SSD, like safety precautions. I mean, you don't want to spend like 130 quid on this if when you install it you're going to cause hundreds of pounds worth of damage. So I think on Samsung's half, that is a pretty bad part of their hard drive kit, the lack of instructions. And the disc, apparently it says it comes with instructions as well, but it's just a colour version of the instructions sheet. So I mean, they could have done better with that, to be honest. But as I said, you're probably not, if you're the average PC user, you're probably not used to changing hard drives around anyway. So they assume that whoever's going to buy this is like a PC geek and they know everything about hard drives, but I don't, probably most of you don't, so I would have thought Samsung would have tried better to do a proper instructions guide, even if it was like a huge booklet in like 50 different languages. That would still be better than some pictures. So that's all I've got to moan about the hard drive. Now going to go on to pros. So a main pro for this hard drive is the software itself. The Samsung data migration software is fantastic. All you do, I can't show you it now because I've uninstalled it from my laptop, but all you literally do, you can get it, from the Samsung website if you just Google it, and you can get it in all different languages, and you can transfer data really easy. It just detects the hard drive that's in your laptop and then says, do you want to copy this over to the SSD? You can also copy over partitions, so if you have a recovery partition in the original hard drive, you can copy that over and decide how big or small you want the partition to be in the SSD, and I think that's brilliant. So simple in fact that I didn't really trust it, so I backed everything up on memory sticks anyway, but you really don't need to. I mean, it's a very user-friendly program, and from my experiences with it, it's extremely reliable as well. And I had no issues once the SSD was fitted, turning on the laptop, no issues at all. It just turned on as normal, everything was the way it was. I'm really impressed with that. I've got to say that it takes a lot to make a program as advanced as that just copies hard drives, and that's fantastic. The only bad side is to the program is that this is now unusable because the cloning software, instead of copying the hard drive, it like cuts the hard drive, so it cuts all the information from it. So as far as I'm aware, that's blank now. So what I'm going to do with that, seeing as it still works, I'm going to get a caddy, which is like a plastic surround, and use it as an external hard drive. I thought I might as well. And I don't really want to record huge stuff on the SSD because they don't recommend that you overuse the SSD in the first couple of months, just like wearing it in. So that's pretty much it for the SSD installation. I've got to say it was very, very easy. I just slid the back off my laptop, undid a couple of screws, took the original hard drive out, put the new one in. The SATA cable, it can only go in one way, so there's no worries about that. And yeah, I only used one screwdriver out of my 26-piece toolkit, but that's how it goes. And I'm going to show you another pro of buying a Samsung SSD over anything else, and that is the Magician program that comes with the SSD. So it looks like that on your desktop. I'll just uncover the microphone on the camera. It just asks you what to do this, and then you get this really cool program that tells you the condition of the drive. I've got like huge reflection on the screen. It also tells you how much space you've got left, and then you can do performance benchmarks, so you can see that it is fucking quick. 545 meg read speed and 395 write speed. That was the first benchmark I did, so it's probably improved. And you can also check the authenticity of the SSD. You can update the firmware, and then you can also get the software itself to optimize your operating system for the SSD, so that's really helpful. Anything I would say though is that I have kept with the original Energy Star battery sort of level monitorizing thing, simply because for some reason when the laptop changed over to the Samsung recommended SSD power management thing, it seemed to make all my performance worse in games. I lost like 10 FPS on most games. I played Euro Truck and it was really, really laggy. I was like, what? I've just installed a faster hard drive and it's laggy. But I think that's because of the Samsung Magician software, so I'll play around with that. If you've already got your laptop optimised to games, then I just use the same profile as usual. But yes, that's another pro of buying an SSD by Samsung. All the SSDs that you can buy from Samsung come with the Magician software, and you can download it online, so that's great. Another thing is, because I've heard of many horror stories about the SSD like suddenly failing, this flash drive that I said I was only going to use once, that now acts as a backup. So the second I plug it in, I got a program that automatically backs up all the important stuff on the laptop, so it's quite secure, and I think it's just fantastic. It's worth every penny. I'm really impressed with it so far. It's changed the whole laptop. I mean, right down to the fact that it doesn't make any noise. It is completely silent. When you turn it on, there's no fan, because obviously the hard drive isn't producing any heat, and that's what produces all the heat on startup. the HDD, which is that, and the fan doesn't even come on. You get no sort of noise from the hard drive itself. It's completely silent. The only noises that my laptop now makes is the disk drive, which occasionally goes beep, 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 which, I mean, it seems kind of eerie at first, but once you get used to it, it's just fantastic. And normal running temperatures, the fan's turned off on my laptop at the moment because it's on idle. It doesn't usually come on until you do some multitasking and stuff, so you can do Word, and I can run Chrome and Word and Media Player without the fan even running, which is fantastic. I think it'll definitely extend the life of my laptop, so because I want to get the most out of this laptop as possible, because it was fairly expensive to start with. So yes, I'm extremely impressed with how it's performed, and I hope it's very reliable in the future. If you want to buy an SSD, I would definitely recommend that you buy Samsung, as all of the programs to do with the SSD itself, they're all just fantastic, and it makes any computer at least 3 times as more responsive. I mean, I'm going to show you in a minute, after I've been doing the talking, a few comparisons between the hard drive and the SSD startup and things, and you would not believe the performance of the laptop now with the SSD, and it really puts into perspective how a crap hard drive really makes your system slow. Even if you have got the best processor, if you have a rubbish hard drive that's only like, what is this, 5,400 RPM, which is pretty slow, then it's going to compromise your system, and that really shows in the laptop. I mean, it's made it so much faster. It's fantastic. It's well worth the money that I spent, so I'm really happy with it. I may do a long-term review on this after I've had it for about a year. It has a 3-year warranty on it, so I'm expecting it to last that long, but you never know with these things. It seems very good to start with, but as with all electronic things, you never really know, so I may do a hate video if I come across any major problems. But the Samsung Magician software is meant to tell you when the hard drive is about to fail, which is extremely helpful, because as the SSD doesn't make any noise, you can't actually tell when it's about to break, because with the hard drive it slows down and you can hear it inside making horrible noises. As the SSD has no moving parts, you can't tell if it's about to break or not, so I hope that part of the software works if I need it, and that will hopefully save all of my data. But obviously I've got all of my schoolwork and profiles for games on this anyway, so that's fantastic. And I want to finish off by showing you the amazing stickers that you get with the any of the SSDs. I think you can see that on camera, that it's actually like metallic, so it sparkles, so it's very nice. And if I shut up, see, no noise at all from the hard drive, no noise from the fan either. It's just fantastic. And the battery life has been extended as well, which is another great thing. I ran it all day yesterday, on and off, sleeping, awake, on the internet, doing Word, and it lasted pretty much all day from about 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock, which is really impressive. For, I mean, before my laptop would last about 2 hours and that's it. So it's really improved the performance and everything about the laptop, so that, I think that's just fantastic, and it's given me all the performance upgrades that I wanted. I'm not going to do anything else with the laptop, it's perfect the way it is. I'm very pleased with it now, so yes, I hope it's helped if you're thinking about buying an SSD. And as I was a bit skeptical whether or not the software would work for data migration, how hard or easy it would have been to install the new hard drive. But I will assure you it's extremely easy, even I could do it. So, and that's the first time I've ever had a computer open or done anything to a computer, so that's really great. Coming up next are a few short comparisons between the response times versus the Western Digital hard drive and the SSD. There will be direct comparisons, you can watch them if you want. And yes, that's all from me and my lovely SSD. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I've outlined any bad points about the hard drive and the installation, and also assured you in that the software, all the software for changing over from a hard disk drive to an SSD is fantastic with Samsung. So I highly recommend that if you buy an SSD, you go Samsung, and that's pretty much all I can say. I've only had the SSD in about 3 days now, so I can't really tell you reliability, but I'm sure it will be very reliable. As with all Samsung things, I have a Samsung camera, I have a Samsung phone, I have a Samsung tablet, I like Samsung, and that's an end of it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and yes, that's all from me. I'll see you next time in probably a Euro Truck mod video or Outlast. I don't know what's coming next on the channel, as I do it quite a lot. I never do anything in advance, so yes, this will probably come out Friday, so the next video will be Outlast. I hope you enjoy that as well, and yes, that's all from me. Bye bye everybody.